Let's go Broncos! Something big is brewing behind the scenes in Denver, and if you're a true fan, you're going to want to hear every detail of what's going down. There are moves being made, strategic, silent, and potentially game-changing, that could define not just this season, but the future of the franchise. Sean Payton is playing chess while the rest of the league is playing checkers, and what I'm about to reveal might just blow your mind. But before I break it all down, if you live and breathe orange and blue, smash that like button right now. And if you've ever stayed up late just to rewatch a Broncos win, comment, "Go Broncos! We're built for greatness." What's really going on with the tight end situation? Why is Payton ignoring the panic about linebackers? And who is this mysterious nuclear physicist that just joined the Broncos front office? Yes, you heard that right. A nuclear physicist. Is this a secret weapon for an analytics revolution in Denver? You won't believe how deep this strategy goes. The Denver Broncos are in full evaluation mode, and Sean Payton is doing what he does best, experimenting early in the season. Historically, September has never been his strongest month. In fact, over his career, Payton holds a modest 30-28 record in September. That doesn't sound elite, right? But before anyone panics, remember this: Payton uses September as a laboratory. His complex playbook and rotating personnel packages are all about finding the right mix for a deep playoff push. We saw the same slow start last season before everything clicked, and Denver snapped their 10-year playoff drought. This year is no different. If you've been scratching your head watching the constant substitutions and line changes, you're not alone. It's confusing, even frustrating, to see 4 new guys running onto the field every other play. But that's the method to Payton's madness. He's testing combinations, figuring out which packages actually work. By week 4, he'll have the formula. So when you see the play clock ticking down or wonder why Bo Nix is taking forever to snap the ball, it's because he's digesting incredibly complex calls. Just listen to a sample play call: Z Deer Henderson, Chris Ivory, Green right, Nasty ZPL fake 37, Buster Bluff, naked, right, X post. Why, that's just one play. This is elite level stuff, and Payton is staying cool under pressure, fully trusting the process. We saw evidence of this confidence in the recent player tryouts. With a longer prep window due to Monday Night Football, the Broncos used their off day not to panic sign replacements, but to strategically evaluate. Payton didn't bring in any tight ends for workouts, which signals strong belief in Evan Ingram's recovery and return. Ingram, when healthy, is set to be the joker of this offense, a matchup nightmare that can line up anywhere. No inside linebackers were brought in either. That's another bold move, considering you can usually grab a solid ILB off the proverbial dump truck. But again, this shows Payton isn't scrambling. He believes in his guys. One notable roster shift: the Broncos officially added Adam Prentice as the team's fullback, filling the spot vacated by the injured Michael Burton. Many speculated that Nate Atkins would convert from tight end to fullback, a trend we've seen with players like Kyle Juszczyk, but Payton chose to keep Atkins at tight end, where he played 35% of the offensive snaps last week. This decision highlights Payton's masterful use of the practice squad. He knows exactly how to stash players and activate them when needed. Behind the scenes, there's another fascinating development that nobody's talking about. It involves technology and a massive move by the Walton Penner ownership group that could give Denver a long-term competitive edge. We're talking about the hiring of Mayapin Sububaya, a nuclear physicist turned data analytics mastermind. This guy isn't just smart, he's revolutionary. Sububaya was a finalist in Amazon Web Services' Big Data Bowl, where analytics experts from around the world compete using NFL tracking data. He built predictive models that analyze defensive back performance, everything from pre-release coverage to post-catch pursuit. And now, he's working with the Broncos. Just think about that. An actual nuclear engineer is now contributing to the Broncos' strategic decisions. This hire isn't about this season alone. It's a move for sustained success, giving Payton real-time data to make smarter in-game decisions and better roster evaluations. His previous work with Teamworks, a high-tech analytics platform that goes way beyond AWS, enabled in-game adjustments, predictive decision-making, and even used RFID chips to track player speed and explosion. Imagine knowing not only how fast your wideout is, but exactly which cornerback type he excels against. That's the level of precision this technology brings to the Broncos. Whether it's 4th and inches calls or off-season decisions about players like Dre Greenlaw, this kind of data will be a game-changer. Now, let's talk trade rumors, because yes, they're swirling. With the trade deadline looming, the Broncos are being linked to a few names. One is tight end David Njoku. The Cleveland Browns have a new emerging star in rookie Harold Fannin Jr., and Njoku may be available. We all know how explosive Njoku is, and if there's any doubt about Ingram's long-term health, don't be shocked if Denver makes a move. Sean Payton loves his tight ends, especially ones who can help a young quarterback like Bo Nix. Another name to watch? DJ Moore. The Chicago Bears are overloaded at wide receiver, and Moore might be on the trade block. With Courtland Sutton and Troy Franklin each showing flashes, but never consistently in the same game, could Denver add another playmaker for Nix? Moore's explosive ability would give the Broncos a true threat at WR1 and help open up the field for the other weapons. But then again, maybe the Broncos stand pat. Maybe Payton believes he's already got the roster he needs for a deep playoff run. After all, he only brought in defensive backs and wide receivers for workouts. No panic, no desperation. Because here's the thing. While the temptation to make a splash at the trade deadline is real, Sean Payton is clearly playing the long game. His confidence isn't just for show. The man has a proven track record of building success methodically, and everything he's done this season so far points to that. From the calculated use of the practice squad to the way he's layering in advanced analytics through cutting-edge technology hires, it's obvious that Payton is shaping this roster not just to survive, but to dominate when it matters most: November, December, and hopefully January. And let's be honest, this isn't the same Broncos team we've seen stumble through the early weeks in years past. Yes, we've had our frustrations with execution, penalties, and figuring out who Bo Nix can really trust when the pocket collapses. But look at the underlying moves. There's intentionality, there's strategy, and above all, there's belief. Belief in the players currently wearing orange and blue, belief in the system, and belief in the process. That's something Broncos fans haven't had in a long time. The addition of Adam Prentice at fullback instead of rushing to reassign roles speaks volumes. Payton had every opportunity to shuffle Nate Atkins around or bring in a stopgap player. Instead, he used his system. He trusted the depth he developed. That's something the best coaches in this league do. And they do it because they know that winning in January starts with building the right habits in September. Let's go back to Myapin Sububaya for a second, because this hire could quietly be one of the biggest front office additions in the NFL this season. This isn't just some spreadsheet wizard. This is someone who can model injury probabilities, who can simulate coverage success rates, who can run machine learning models on how a defensive back reacts post-snap. Think about that. You're not just scouting film anymore, you're projecting outcomes with mathematical precision. And yes, Payton still has his instincts, still has his old school grit. But now he's got a brilliant mind in his ear saying, here's the statistical breakdown of your fourth and short tendencies over the last 10 years versus league averages, adjusted for field position and weather. That's how you win close games. That's how you become a playoff caliber team. Now, let's shift back to the wide receiver situation. Courtland Sutton has been doing his job. He's been that consistent chain mover, the veteran presence. But let's not overlook Troy Franklin either. In the Colts game, he was the only receiver to make a meaningful impact. So here's the dilemma. Do you go out and grab a guy like DJ Moore, knowing he can stretch the field and demand attention from opposing defenses? Or do you trust that this young receiving core will settle into their roles as the season progresses? There's real value in letting this group gel organically. Chemistry takes time. Trust between a rookie quarterback and his receivers doesn't happen overnight. And there's every indication that Bo Nix is progressing exactly as Sean Payton hoped. So do you risk disrupting that rhythm with a big acquisition? Or do you continue to fine-tune what you already have? And if there's one thing that fans need to understand, it's that Payton isn't building this team for one shot at the playoffs. He's building a foundation. He's building a system that's going to win over and over again. That's why every move, even the ones that don't make headlines, matters. That's why hiring someone like Sububaya is just as important as trading for a big-name player. That's also why we haven't seen panic from the front office. They're not throwing out Hail Marys in September. They're collecting data. They're observing matchups. They're waiting for the right moment to strike. And when that moment comes,